Okay, Mike Masato, CEO of Staff Driven Dental and the Dental Road Warrior, returning for episode 30 in this series. So in honor of historic episode number 30, I thought I'd talk a little bit about staff and finding good staff. Since the company was named after staff, in honor of staff in the first place, I wanted to talk a little about staff today, okay? And talk about finding good people, because this is a statement that I hear multiple times a year from doctors. Oh, Mike, it's so hard to find good people today. I hear this all the time. And what I'll often do is I'll say, okay, grinning to myself, let me meet your people, talk to your people over lunch or interview your people, and which I'll do. And I'll get an assessment of what's going on. The doctor will sit down with me and say, well, what do you think? And I would say, tongue-in-cheek, doc, you have great people. You just wrecked them. So, and that's not anything. What are you talking about? Or she's talking, what are you talking about? And he's like, look, and did you really hire bad people? I say, doc, did you really hire? Did you put an ad in the paper that said, bad hygienist wanted, must drive me crazy, cut corners, inquire within? You didn't put that ad in there. Okay? You run an ad at one time because you hired these people because you thought they were good. All right, and they may have started out that way, and then it became bad in your mind for various reasons, or you think you made a mistake, or whatever. But ultimately, you didn't set out to find or hire bad people, and so really there are some things you need to know about good attracting good people and hiring good people. So let's go over a few things. First of all, where do you find them? All right, first you need to know what you're looking for. There's a certain kind of person you want to hire in your practice, and I always tell people, don't hire the resume, hire the person. And the resume is great for the clinical part. Now, if you're hiring a clinical person, that's great. You got to hire a hygienist. They have to have that clinical skill, so you hire them on the resume for that part. Or the assistant, if you want to register, dental assistant, then they got to have an RDA, etc. But so that being said, when it comes down to it, everything else being equal, you have to hire the people. And one of you have to know how to assess, good people when they come in. Do they, where do you put these ads? Well, a lot of times, first of all, it's all the kind of ad you run too. You can use an agency, by the way. Agencies can work. It's also really coaching the staffing agency on what to look for in the parameters. Now, just don't say, send me a person, I need an assistant, or you need a front desk person. And yeah, you'll get a body, but you may not get the best person for the job. So you have to want to do the work and do your due diligence on finding good people here. All right, so agencies can work, but with the right agency and the proper guidelines. The internet right now is great. There are a lot of great websites right now, and I'm not going to shamelessly promote any of them that are out there for hiring sites that specifically focus on dental. A lot of people use sites that do just general hiring sites. I like to go to the ones that specifically deal with dental, because on those sites are people that are in the dental industry looking for dental jobs. It narrows the focus down right off the bat. Because if you put ads in some of the other sites, like for a receptionist or front desk, you're going to get ads from all kinds of people from all kinds of front desk jobs all over the place potentially. All right, so you want to make your life easier. Let's cut right to the chase. Go to places where dental people looking for dental jobs hang out. Those sites are really good about that. And again, you have to know how to write the right kind of ad. The right kind of ad strikes a certain kind of person, and many of us are not, don't know how to write an ad. I mean, I do. I have plenty of sample ads that I apply, supply for my clients, or you can get online from our site and from the platform. But these are just again, you have to know what you're doing to recruit a certain kind of person. Again, because if you write, there's a way to attract a certain kind of person. Certain people, the good people, look for certain things in the ad. You know why? Because they're looking to find a home, and they're going to interview you as much as you're interviewing them. They want to know what they're getting themselves into. I can tell you time and time again, whether it's managers, good hygienists, good assistants, they're going in there checking you out, checking the practice out. Do I want to work with this guy or this woman or with these people in this practice? Do they have their act together? Am I going to get some kind of support and training here? Am I going to win and succeed in this position? So again, and they know their value too, so they're not going to be cheap. Again, you get what you pay for. If you can't go into this whole thing without these fixed, be so rigid with these fixed out. I'm only paying $18 an hour for a front desk. Well, you're limiting yourself out of the gate. Because you're rarely, if ever, going to get a great front desk person for $18 an hour. Maybe in some parts of the country you'll find someone, but I am here in the New York metropolitan area. Forget that. All right. So again, you have to be willing to invest money to make money. And then one of the best places to invest money is in great people. Really, really important that you do that. All right, and just like anything else, you can go cheap on equipment, you can go cheap on supplies, you can go cheap on labs. You get what you pay for. Same thing with people. All All right. So again, no, have a budget for that. No, going in, you get what you pay for. All right. So when these people come in, do you have some kind of interview process? How do you interview them? Do you look at them? What are you looking for in these people? Well, first of all, can they make it on time? Do they miss various first meetings? For various excuses. There's a red flag right there. To me, it's one shot. They don't make it in. They're not, they can't make it for the job interview. All right, and there's all kinds of issues or drama around that. Chances are they're gonna bring that into the practice. This is what you got going on right here. All right, look at their communication skills. How well do they communicate? We work in a people business across the board. They're going to be dealing with human beings. Unless you're handling someone just to sterilize instruments in the back all day long, or you're going to put them in the basement to deal with insurance companies, and even then you have to have a decent people person on the phone. You can't just have people that don't communicate well, and that's critical. All right, do they have their act together? What's their sanity level? I know you may laugh, but I say sanity level. Look, there are a lot of crazy people out there. There are. You have to know how to recognize them, because everybody out there listening to this knows what it's like from time to time when you bring a crazy or have an issue with a crazy staff member in your practice, right? And I'm not saying that to be mean. It just happens. It's part of what goes on in life. When something's happened to people, you don't need to bring, just like when you have crazy patients, you don't need to bring those people into your office. They're not required to come to your practice and get treatment there. It's very disruptive and upsetting. And what does it do to the rest of your team when you bring a person like that in the practice? Or if someone in the practice has gone off the rails and they're bringing the entire office down, right? Very important, all right? Can they make stuff happen? Are they a causative kind of person? Or are they kind of effective the world? And they're kind of pushed around by people and they can't make things happen. They can't make time happen. They can't make money happen. They can't make their work happen. And everything's, blame for something. They blame everybody else and everything else in the world. They have to be people that they can cause something to make things happen. Really important. How do they present themselves? When they come in, are they professional looking? This is important. I don't care what job they are, but are they clean? Are they kempt? Are they neat? Are they dressed properly? I take enemy. How do they smell? I know people might think, what are you talking about? It's true. What if they smell like cigarettes? I don't understand in this day and age, in the health field, you're promoting and selling health, and you're going to hire someone that's a smoker. In the dental field of all things. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody out there who's more clinical savvy than me, one of the worst things you can do for your oral health is smoke, let alone the rest of your body. So why are we hiring smokers, or better than that, someone else, or worse than that sometimes, someone who's got teeth rotting out of their head? Okay? Come on. This person's going to be up there promoting dental in your office for the interactions he has with people. At least having that decent teeth. These are non-starters, some of these things. Important things, and again, it's not an extensive list of things, but these are some things right away I want to see when I'm looking at people. I want to bring them in. I want to have them do a working interview. Why? Because my philosophy on hiring people is you hire slow, fire fast. Write that one down. All right? Hire slow, fire fast. What do I mean by this? That means when you get people in the office, and maybe I've said this before in a previous episode, it sounds familiar, but they're starting to all run together. There's so many episodes, but it's good to hear it again. All right, hire slow. Take people through a lot of hoops to earn the right to be in your practice. Make them pass all the tests. Pass your test, pass the patient test, pass the staff test. Show that they're competent in what they can do. And then we offer them the position, and we apprentice them. All right, and keep in mind, you don't tell people, well, if you make it past this trial period, then you're in, or we'll assess from there. You don't want to say that. Most states I know are at-will states, which means you can hire and fire at will. So you don't want to make almost like a contract with somebody. Say if you make it through this period, then you're in. All right, so don't do that. But you want to, once you get them in there, you have the ability. If it don't work out, let them go. That's where the fire fast comes in. If they jump through all these hoops and they're all seem to be great, then it's not working out, or we made a mistake, get them out. Many times we let people linger in the practice and we think, oh, they're going to get better. How are they going to get better? Most of the time, you should take the position that these people are either instantly good or never good. If they're not in their best behavior and they're doing their best possible job in the beginning, how are they going to start getting better as time goes on? Especially when it comes to their personality, their attitude. These are things you cannot train. If they're a little short on their skill set in other areas, like on the clinical side, that's kind of the stuff that can be trained. Many of us have hired, the raw person, and we've trained them up on certain things on the clinical admin side. But if on the other side of things, personality, communication, sanity level, things like that, you're not training those things. They're not going to get better in time. Let them go. All right. So it's really important that we take a time and we don't go through a process here and let them get right in their practice. And when they get there, do they have a job description into the practice? I mean, do you give them some kind of job description to work by? Are they going to be trained? Are they going to be apprenticed when they get there, so they have a chance of succeeding? A lot of times these people become bad, or the apparency is they become bad, is because they're not giving any expectations. They're not giving any guidelines to succeed. Because just throw them out there. It's amazing most of these people make it in your practice. So when they get in there, if you want them to succeed, let them know your expectations. Most people don't come out of the box wonderfully. Hard to believe I didn't. I know you're shocked when you hear this thing. I'm a product, I always say this, of many, many years of coaching, and self-reflection, self-analysis, and hard work to get to the point where I'm at right now, to do what I'm doing. I'm still learning. I'm still a work in progress. Most of these people that you have right now in your practice, think about the ones that you have in your practice right now who are good or great. Think about when they started, what were they like? They weren't all necessarily superstars out of the box. You took time with them. You apprenticed them. You trained them. You gave them some kind of a job description, even if you didn't write it down. So these people need, when they come in, to have these things in order for them to succeed. It's worth it to invest in these people. They're the most valuable asset you have. Every dollar is going to flow through them. They're going to make or break you every single day. So you need to take the time with these people. But we don't want the hassle, so to speak, when we deal with bringing in staff and training staff. But it's the most important thing you can possibly do, because they will make or break you every single time. All right, it's important to do this and take the initiative to do this, or have someone do this. Put your manager in charge if she's really good about bringing people on board, and we want them to emulate a lot of her things, the way she does things. Have them spend some time with her. But again, if you don't do some of these things, as I said here, you get what you get. All right, and often, as I said before, what I've found in my 21 plus years of doing this right now, most people out there are good. They're willing to comply and produce and do the job and show up and make things happen in your practice. But you know what? You got to give them a chance to succeed. And unless you approach it the right way from the beginning, later on it becomes a lot harder. Where we might find ourselves that well, maybe it wasn't the best thing in the world. But again, that's on us. All right, so. I guess hopefully there's probably so much more I could talk about staff. This video went in the flash this time around. Hope these insights were helpful. I'm sure I'll do more on staff in the future, but I wanted to give you a little insights today. I hope this will be useful. Go out and start maybe reassessing how you're approaching looking at staff and bringing in new hires. All right, so I hope you enjoyed episode 30. If you loved the episode, please share it out there with others, and I'll be back with episode 31 before you know it.